Morning. We're up and had reasonably good night's sleep. Day 59 today. We've just had breakfast at this grill and chill place. Just gonna look around, and there's the mountains over there, but you can't see anything because it's just so misty. So we've got a bit of a 0.9 mile walk before we head up back to the trail, and then 14 miles to the shelter.
14.6.
Oh, don't forget the 0.6.
So I'm not really very happy today. You know, when you hear about all these foreign tourists coming to somebody's country and being exploited, we all know about the sad news about the trekking pole. But we were at Walmart yesterday, $39.99. They saw me and they said he's English, so tell him that's a trekking pole. So it's got a 3-day guarantee, but then I'm going to be 60 miles away, so I won't be bringing it back. So yeah, they're not quite the same trekking poles we get back in Britain, but I suppose we have been through Indian country. But well, you just have to make do.
So we'll see you when we get back a little while later, when we're back on the trail.
We've just left Pearisburg now, crossing this bridge, runs along the highway. Pretty overcast day, still misty up in the distance, but nice and cool. So we've got a week of mixed weather coming up. Next few days are going to be really hot, but then thunderstorms and potential floods again coming in. So we've literally not had any consistent weather the whole journey, and a bit like being at home really. So that's where we could hear the trains keep passing in the night. Not been able to see anything because it's been so misty. But I'm pretty sure somewhere up there in the cloud is where we're heading for. And we're looking at just short of 15 miles. Wow, the bridge here, I'll show you. Absolute huge river that we're crossing. Train. And Alison's on a bit of a mission today. Well, this is definitely the widest river we've seen on this trail. Just saying, that's got to be the widest river we've seen on this entire trail. For all you people wondering out there, my Walmart trekking pole is standing up really well, and I might have to take it all back if it gets me to Maine. No, I wouldn't imagine either. Not surprised with all the rain we've had. So anyway, we're going to crack on.
And we just seem to find these nice spots to have our lunch by a little waterfall here that you can see running all the way down there. So we've just filled up our water. We try not to do it too often because the weight of it is just so heavy to carry. Boots are off, feet are in the water, and we're just having an apple, banana and some fruit for lunch. It's a nice little spot we've just found here, although we're not in the shade, but
just off Pocahontas Road.
Just off Pocahontas Road, yeah. Did my hair in plaits today, so quite fitting for this part of the morning. How many miles to the campsite?
9.
9. Which is not bad because we like to do 9 in the morning, 9 in the afternoon. So just having our bite to eat, and we'll catch up with you when we get to the campsite. Anything else?
No, just looking at the days ahead. I've been good.
Okay.
Been a good climb up, hasn't it?
Very
hot. Met a couple of nice people.
Yeah.
We're on a bit of a grassy area. Just beyond those, beyond this grass, and just before those trees is a shelter. But we're carrying on. This pole you can see in front of you has got the white blaze on, and the trail goes down here and up that grassy board there. But the reason we've stopped here is just to show you this.
It's like being in the Lake District.
I don't know what it's like. Yeah, it's magnificent. I don't know if you can see, I presume you can now. It's actually quite urbanised for what we've seen, isn't it? Yeah. Some beautiful places that looks like down there, absolutely pristine. And then, like you say, as always, as far as the eye can see, mountains. I thought we'd climbed them all by now. All the way around there. So we're going to push on to the first campsite, because the first campsite has water. And we have still 2 bottles of beer left. All the way up here. The one we want to go to doesn't have water, so there'll be nowhere to cool it. But we'll see how the time goes. I don't know if you can see this guy here. There was 5 of them a minute ago. Here he comes, swooping so low. He's absolutely majestic, some kind of hawk, or I don't know whether he's a form of eagle. There's 5 of them. Amazing.
It's 8 o'clock. We're in our tent, and we did walk 14.7 miles.
I've got something in my eye.
Are you ready?
Can you guess which one?
It's been hot, it's been sticky, it's been achy because, the backpacks are heavy because of the food. We're just sitting, actually, we're not even in our sleeping bags, but it is really quite warm. We've got the vent open out there.
The wind's getting up.
Yeah. I don't know if you can hear it.
It's the only thing I pause with when you've got these trees around you.
Stopped at the campsite, but it's a very poor campsite. We're the only ones here.
It's very rocky around us.
Yeah.
We're still about another 4 miles away from anywhere else, so we'll make do tonight. Oh, excuse me.
Keeping you up?
It's you tiring me out listening to you moaning how heavy your bag is.
Oh, it's so heavy today. My shoulder's killing me.
Yeah, my shoulder's aching, I must admit.
The first day out of camp, the first day out of town when we've resupplied is always the worst. And to think we did 12 miles yesterday in the morning, and we did 14 miles all day today.
Don't forget 0.7.
0.7.
It's nearly 15 actually. It felt like 18.
Plus the 0.9 we did out of the town.
Out of the town, yeah.
But we can't count that.
No.
Although I do. I count every point.
You should try fetching the water. I've actually walked to Canada.
But yeah, it's going to be a hot night, I think, again tonight.
Yeah.
And windy, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
18.
If there by any chance we're 15 miles outside Pearisburg. If we don't make a video in the morning, maybe one of these trees have fell on top of us in the night. So
you're nice and cheerful tonight.
We'll see. Yeah, you about ready?
Yeah.
Okie dokie, we'll speak to you tomorrow. Morning, day 60. Little bit late for us, 8. Usually gone 3/4 of an hour ago. But we've got about an 18.8 mile day today, so we're going to try and break into 2 9 points. 9 in the morning, 9 in a bit for lunch. Don't want to leave ourselves a 10-mile hike after dinner, especially in the sun. But we're late, so you know, we had a bit of a lie and we're both still tired, so you can't have it both ways.
So sticky and hot
horrible.
And clammy last night, so it was a struggle to sleep.
I think it was only, what, 18 hours ago we were all showered and cleaned. We walked all day in the sun yesterday. You try and sleep at night, but
Day 60.
Day 60, pushing on towards the 700 mile mark.
Yeah.
So we're heading somewhere called War Spur Shelter today. Like I say, 18.8 miles. So we'll let you know how we're going on during the day, or anything we see. Right, Blaze? Just gone midday. You can sit wherever you like. Just makes the afternoon longer. Nice spot for dinner, must admit. Nice bridge here again. That is a real cool spot for dinner. What do you want to do?
You want to carry on, don't you?
I want to get to the shelter. It's another 2 miles. But then when we start back about 1:45, it's 2 miles less this afternoon. I'm trying to split the day into about 2 9 points something. It is hot though. But it still stays hot till 5 o'clock. Stand up then, because you look as though you've walked the marathon.
I feel as though I've walked the marathon today.
Yeah, the temperature. Not sure accurate that is. But as you can see there, 12, 91 degrees. I'm pretty sure it's about 9 degrees, 10 degrees over with being on my wrist.
The only advantage about here is that we could take our shoes and socks off in the water. You can't do that at the shelter.
We're going to have to stop at the shelter for water or the spraying. It's up to you. If you want to stay here, we'll stay here. Are we staying here? Right, that's that. We're doing that then. So then, we've climbed out of Bailey Gap shelter. About another 2 tents up. And we've got to a flat spot. Reasonably
flat in the book.
For the last, what, mile?
Yeah, this is it.
This is it underfoot.
This is not flat.
Not flat.
This should say rocky. Rocky. Stony.
Rocky! Do you mean that Rocky? Adrian!
So flat.
I don't know if you can see this that well.
Bullshit.
Ooh, swearing on YouTube. Yeah. This is what we're walking through. We've been doing it for a mile. There's not really great places to put your trekking poles. Or if you're me, your one trekking pole and your $39.99 piece of tree from Walmart.
Or if you do put your trekking poles, they just get stuck.
Yeah. So this is the terrain, just as we're walking. And we're trying to get 8 miles to this next shelter.
See you at 10 o'clock.
Just carries on, carries on, and carries on. It may be dark the next video.
Morning, it's day 61. We've been walking half an hour and it's so warm already. It does look as though it is going to be a beautiful day. So we've got away from our campsite and we've just found a little spot here where we're going to have some breakfast. So, good night's sleep in the shelter?
No.
No.
Too hot and sticky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 7 AM. It feels like it's 11.
Yeah. But
we've got a big 2.5 mile mountain to climb now. We've got to get up there before full sunrise. Or it just... We didn't video last night because it was so late getting back into camp. It was turning dark. There was weekend hikers there, sitting having dinner. So we sat with them, had a bite to eat, and to be honest, we sat up quite late last night, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
But it's so hot. I feel so dirty, so sticky.
Yeah.
It's a difficult place to come. If, in all honesty, if you like your hygiene, it's a real difficult task to take on.
Yeah. But I'm not sure if that's the mountain above us there. Is it in front of us? And the sun's coming up just over there.
So I think that's the start of it.
Yeah. So we'll catch you later.
Hello, Alison Shelford, hiker of the Appalachian Trail. It's 10 to 12. It's been a reasonable morning, hasn't it?
reasonable.
Getting up earlier though, those first few hours.
Helps.
We're just about to pick a spot for lunch. Could I just ask you to hold them for me? I'm going to show the people where we are. Now this is really what we thought Virginia was going to be like, wasn't it? Instead of all the bloody mountains we've climbed. So as you can see over there, grass. Now we're walking in this direction. So there was an old style here, we're walking through here. And now, if anybody can help us pick a spot for lunch. We have this to choose from.
It's nice and breezy.
Oh, it is, the cool air is amazing. We've done, I don't know how many miles, I don't want to guess, but we've done a lot this morning. We've been on the road since 6:30, yeah. So, that is our view that we're heading to. I don't know which direction, but I'm pretty sure those things in front will play some point today. But I've just watched some hikers go, and I'm trying to think. Yeah, they're under that tree. I'm going to watch where they disappear to, and then we're going to pick somewhere. That is a good spot. Yeah, now I'm not happy about that because two of them are from Scotland, so I'm going to have to go down there and have a word with them and tell them that they might have to move on because that was actually a good spot. Anyway, we're going to get some lunch and then hopefully about between 8 and 10 miles after lunch, that's it. It's 2:25 in the afternoon. We picked a nice spot for lunch. It was lovely, wasn't it? Like looking over the countryside. We're still in the fields. If you just look over there, there's some of the guys we've been hiking from, a couple of guys from Scotland and two of their American friends, and there's some day hikers there. So we are actually in fields at the moment. But the reason we're videoing here is because in this part of Georgia, oh my God, this part of Virginia, there's the Kefir oak. And I think in the book it says it's probably the second oldest. There's one in New York, I think it says in the book older. But
it's just unbelievable.
I mean, we live in Nottinghamshire, so we have the major oak, which is one of the biggest oak trees on the planet. But it is not the height of this thing. It's bigger in diameter, but this is what you call a tree. Just do me a favour, Alison, just walk towards it, because I know we've got the pictures, but believe you me, this oak tree is absolutely huge. And I mean huge. By the time I get back to the bottom, Alison will be standing there. Now the major oak is nowhere near, obviously with its age, the height of this one. I mean, I'll just show you some of the branches. Some of the branches come out, I would say, 40 to 50 feet.
I wonder if this was a branch.
Yeah, well, here's one on the floor here. So this, obviously, is a remnant that's fallen. Right, and you'll see Alison now as a scale stood next to that oak tree. Yeah, actually on scale, when you stand there, it does sort of give that, yeah. So like I say, I'll show you just one more branch. Yeah, you'll know where. So this branch coming off here. It just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Enormous. It's absolutely. We thought we'd passed it, hadn't we, 10 minutes ago? And we've seen this on YouTube before, and people have slept here. There is a bit of a campsite just down there, and I've seen somebody walking by taking a picture of the tent and the oak, and it looks amazing. But it's truly
huge,
bigger than I thought. It really is a huge tree. Wow. That's made my day. It's 6:45. We're still walking. I would think we're within a mile of the shelter. The sun's around there. Going to be setting in the next 20-30 minutes. Beautiful views of the mountains. We've really had tough terrain today again. This is the descent down here. That's where Alison is. It's been that much of the way up, and much of the way down rather. You can hear the water, dying for a drink of water actually, more or less run out. But it's been a real chore carrying. too much up this mountainside today. So probably about 15 minutes I think to the shelter, 15-20 minutes. It's definitely down there somewhere, so I'll just keep following this round.
Morning, day
62?
May the 1st.
May the 1st. We didn't get to camp till late last night, but we knew we wouldn't, getting down the mountainside. And ironically, quite a few of the hikers, young hikers past us, we got into camp, didn't we? And by about 10 minutes, we'd missed 2 huge timber rattlesnakes. They showed us the picture, and one of them, it was wrapped around a tree, and they walked within a foot.
Yeah, it was on the trail.
A foot of it, straight by it. It never moved. It was hot yesterday. There was nowhere for them to go. But they said, I could see by the picture, it was big, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it never warned them, so they walked by it, totally ignored the guys. So we saw a black snake yesterday, but we missed it. And I've got to admit, you wouldn't, but I'd really like to see one. So, but it was dark last night. We was eating more or less, washed up in the dark.
Yeah.
Got into bed. And today...
It was nice sleeping in the tent because you could just like strip off.
Yeah, laid on top of the sleeping bag all night.
Yeah.
With a little bit of drizzle.
Yeah, we did in the night.
We're just leaving Nidday shelter.
Nidday.
So we're about a day and a bit from Catalba, where we're just going to nip in for a resupply. And then outside of Catalba, we've got an 8-mile walk, and then a day to Daleville. So we need to find somebody today to scrounge your phone call off. It's bizarre, I'm talking to you on a phone, but I've got absolutely no signal. And once we get to Waynesboro, I'm going to get this sorted and change from AT&T to Verizon, I think.
Sun's coming up.
But yeah, there. The sun's up. It's 7:39, and we've got about a 16.8 mile today. So we're 2 miles less than yesterday. But yesterday was really tough.
Yeah, it was.
I think sort of misjudged the climb, and it seemed to take forever. But seen some old friends last night who have again been slack packing, and today going slack packing. I don't understand it myself, but maybe it's my age. So anyway, we're going to crack on this morning, and I'm going to speak to you in a bit because there's something that I've looked in the book today that means so much to me. It's trivial to a lot of people, but my family will certainly understand. Hey, yeah, it's 3 o'clock. We just had a lunch at Pickle Branch Shelter. 0.3 off the trail, like quite a few of them. So it's over a half-mile round trip. But it absolutely chucked it down with rain after the Audie Murphy Monument. And we've got a soak coming down, but we've dried out. We're going to walk up to Dragon's Tooth.
Yeah.
Take it from there, but we've got a section coming up now from Newport Road to Mountain Pass Road, which is an area of about 30 mile. That there's no camping unless you're at a shelter. So the next shelter is about 13 miles. We're not going to make that at this time of the day. So we're going to get up to this top, and then we're going to decide if we're going to walk probably 1.5 more miles and reduce our day tomorrow. And we're going to check to see how we're doing with food, yeah?
Yeah.
But it's as though something's waiting to happen, isn't it? The weather.
Yeah, it's temperature's cooler, which is nice, but it's eerily thunderstormy.
There's some guys now going to come and bomb the video. How you doing?
Great. How are you, Mom?
Yeah, good, thank you.
We're happy it hadn't rained like they forecasted.
No, that's true, that's true.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys later. Hi, it's 8:15 at night, and we've had a horrid late afternoon. We got climbing up to Dragon's Tooth, and we'd had rain midday-ish, and we got a shelter, so we were wet, but we dried out. And the guys were saying, yeah, the worst has gone, and I can assure you the worst hadn't arrived. I don't know if you can tell from this picture, but it's actually quite dark here. It's the latest we've ever been on the trail, and we're about 3/4 of a mile. If you look down there. So getting back to the story, yeah, we had a tremendous thunderstorm, and the descent was really, really difficult in the wet. Yeah, there was ladders on the rocks, yeah. So we're coming down to a road junction in about the next 15 minutes, and that's it. We cannot go any further because there's camping restrictions. The next shelter's too many miles for us, and with the roots on the floors, we're not into night hiking. So we're going to hopefully pray there is a camping spot down near the road. We do know some guys that passed us mid-afternoon said there is a hostel about 0.3 of a mile. So if we get down there, if there's a camping spot, that'll be good. If not, we're going to walk up to this hostel. Do you want to just catch up with me? Because I don't want your mum and dad or your daughters and son thinking that you're not here anymore. So here she is. You alright?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit late now. We're going to crack on, and hopefully we'll speak to you in the morning. If not, we got lost somewhere before Newport Road.
Good morning. It's day 62, and as you will probably tell, it's a little bit different video this morning than what we normally do. Last night our last video was posted, and I think it was 8 o'clock at night, and we were walking down from Dragon's Tooth, and it was dark, it was cold, still a bit scary, I must admit. We got to the road, and there was up or down, isn't there, one direction or the other, and we knew that there was a hostel nearby, 0.3. There was no spaces to camp, so of course we started walking down the hill where we saw some lights. Knocked on a door, no answer. So we thought, no sign of her saying this is a hiker hostel. We carried on walking a bit further, and in the end we flagged a car down and said, excuse me, do you know where the hiker hostel is? They said, oh yeah, it's the other way. Typical. So we started walking back up the hill, and a truck stopped, pulled over and said, are you okay? Where are you going? Do you want a lift? So we said, we're looking for the hiker hostel. So he took us in the back of his van, and it was only 0.3, but it was a relief to get in the back of the van. Excuse the noise because I'm just doing the laundry in the hotel, which I'll explain in a minute. So we get to the hostel, and there's quite a few people there. I'm coming out of this laundry room actually. We get to the hiker hostel, and loads of friends there we know, which was great to see them. But of course now it's 9 o'clock at night. They gave us some leftover pizza. I didn't have any, and the owner came along and said his wife had made lasagna, so we had some lasagna. And there was even a guy there with a bottle of red wine, and he gave us a glass of wine each. We set up tent, and literally within 5 minutes of laying down, Simon was violently sick, and I mean violently sick, and diarrhea outside the tent. It was awful. He didn't sleep all night, I didn't sleep all night. He was sick a couple of times, so we don't know if it was the pizza or what it was. I think part of it was the emotion and the stress of the day before, but I think he still got a bit of food poisoning from somewhere. I wasn't. I was okay, but I was tired. So 6 o'clock this morning we were up, and we packed away our tent, went down to the hostel place, and the shuttle there, guy was said, we asked him if he could give us a lift to the nearest motel, nearest place, because Simon needed to get some sleep. So he took us to a Holiday Inn, which is where we are now. It's now 12:30, lunchtime. Simon's been ill again, but he's had a good night. Well, he's had a good morning's sleep. and I've just come up to do some fresh laundry, and this is our 0 day because there's no way we could have walked today, especially with Simon being so poorly. We've made the decision that we're just, at the moment, it's really hard to do 18-mile days consecutively, especially with the weather being so hot and sticky and you're not washing properly and everything else. So hopefully a little bit later on I will get a message to you all with both of us, and the unfortunate thing is it is absolutely beautiful out there today, and we were gonna, today's menu was going to McAfee Knob, which is one of the famous places, but that's knocked on the head, and we're going to do it tomorrow regardless anyway, and the guy from the shuttle will come and pick us up in the morning and take us back to where we started from. So I'm going to go and finish getting my laundry done, and we'll speak to you later. But Simon's a little bit better, he just needs to rest, and I'm a lot better now. I've washed my hair. Okay. So, sorry about earlier, but it was day 63 today. Bearing in mind I just made a mistake, sorry about that. So I'm in our hotel room. Simon hasn't been sick anymore, but he's in bed still. So we're just going to have to wait and see what sort of night we have. But we will have to make a decision tonight if we're going to be back on the trail tomorrow, because we get a lift in the morning at 8 o'clock. And it's not fair for them to come 9 miles away, and we say to them, oh sorry, no, we're not coming now. So a bit later on, in a couple of hours, we'll give them a ring and make a decision whether we're going to be back on the trail, depending on how Simon feels. But at the moment he doesn't feel very well, so I'm just in my hotel room, and we're just gonna see how he feels. So hopefully a good night's sleep, and we'll speak to you in the morning. But it's day 63.